Here's a secret I bet you didn't know, and most actors don't even realize. When casting directors are auditioning talent, they don't always know exactly what it is they're looking for. You might think that they have this clear vision in their head of what the character's supposed to be, but a lot of times it's not that way. Most of the time, they're waiting to see what feels right. They're not necessarily casting for a specific look. They're casting for a specific feel for the character. So when you walk into the room trying to guess what it is that these casting directors want, you start bringing in fear and desperation, and you try to mold yourself into some kind of imaginary version of what you think that the role's supposed to be and what you think they want. And oftentimes when you do that, you bring the sense of self-doubt, and that automatically disqualifies you. You're almost always out immediately in the audition when that happens. Most successful actors, they're not auditioning with permission. They're not coming in there like, oh, please let me have this part. Listen here. They come in there auditioning with confidence. They bring their own interpretation, their own voice, and their own rhythm to make the scene feel like it was written for them specifically. Al Pacino kind of said it like this one time. He said he didn't think that an actor should ever expect to get a role when they go into a spot, because disappointment would be way too high and you don't know exactly what the feel is. He says instead, you look at every audition as an opportunity. An audition is literally an opportunity to have an audience. Several other actors have said the same thing. They've all commented that an audition is like a one-person play that you're performing in front of a one-person audience, like the casting director. And with that, that's exactly what happens. And that makes the casting director lean forward, listening in to what it is that you're bringing to the table. Because here's the truth. Sometimes you're not booking the role, you're discovering the role, and they're discovering the role through you. So stop trying to be right. Be real. Be you. Be bold. Because the most unforgettable performances don't always play it safe. They stand out because they bring originality to the character. Because in the end of the day, you're not there to be chosen. You are there to show them who you are and what only you can do. Nobody else. So whether you book the role or not, you make them remember you. Because when you stop chasing approval and start owning your space, that's when the real magic happens. Anyway, guys, that's just a little tidbit from me. Anyway, good luck with your auditions out there. I know what I'm always looking for when I'm casting stuff out there, and it's just really that originality. We're wanting to see you as a performer. That actually reminds me of a writer who was writing this script, and he got a talent agent and stuff like that, and he got offered this opportunity to write a script for a movie, and the company had offered him $25,000, and he was a bartender in Nashville. He was super excited. It was the most he had ever gotten paid in his entire life to do something that he loved, which was creating and writing. So he got really excited. His agent said, whoa, let's not say anything yet. We're going to make them a different offer. We're going to offer them $75,000. And he's like, that's $50,000 more than what he had ever made in his life doing something like that. He's like, man, this is a bad idea, because if you go to the studio saying you want $75,000, he said, I'm going to lose the part out. And the agent says, let me do my job. I know what I'm doing. So the agent goes, talks to the studio, and they kind of come out with a deal at $55,000. So this guy, who was a bartender at a job that he hated in the middle of Nashville, got this opportunity at $55,000 to write this script, write this movie. And so he was super excited. He couldn't believe it. And then he said that the imposter syndrome started getting to him. It started eating him up inside. And all of a sudden, he just felt this fear. He couldn't write the script. He was like, I'm not good enough to be paid for $55,000. He said, my writing is not worth $55,000 for this. They're paying me to write a $55,000 script. And finally, he said his manager and his agent sat him down, calmed him down, and said it like this. It says, they're not paying you $55,000 to write a script. They're paying you $55,000 because they like you as an individual and your voice it brings to the table. You don't have to go above and beyond what you're capable of. What they are paying you for is for you to bring your uniqueness to the thing. And he said after that, it calmed him down. He wrote the best version that he could bring to the table without having to go above and beyond. It didn't scare him anymore. He was able to write this. It successfully went on, and he's had a great career writing for television shows like NCIS and Law and Order, SVU, and all those things like that. All because he was able to take that inside and realize that was, it wasn't just the imposter syndrome. It wasn't just trying to write, giving them what he thought they wanted. Instead, he took a deep breath, looked inside, and realized that this is an opportunity. They're paying him to bring his uniqueness to it. The same thing goes for casting. Whenever I'm casting for roles for a project or a movie or a commercial or something like that, I am looking not always for a specific look, but for a specific feeling that I get from that that actor. And that's all studios are doing. That's what most independent filmmakers are doing. That's what casting directors are looking for, is they're trying to find you and your uniqueness. Now, of course, you need to be professional about it. You need to know, where your mark is, and you need to know, you have to have good headshots and a resume and stuff like that. And you need to know how to slate your auditions. But, I mean, there's obviously a formula to all that you need to learn. But you need to realize that you are what they're looking for. And they're rooting for you every single time you come into an audition. Come into that room, owning that room, because you got a play to perform and you have an audience. So anyway, guys, good luck. God bless you. I love you. Live with passion.